Hey guys, welcome to my studio, welcome to my channel. My name is Sergey Gusev. Today I would like to talk about skin tones. It seems to be a huge, big issue for many artists, for beginners, and maybe sometimes even for advanced painters. I receive a lot of questions via emails, in the comments on social media, on my YouTube channel, of course, and I believe that the most popular question I'm asked sounds like this. How do you mix your skin tones? Guys, it's difficult to answer those questions and explain in a few words how to get the skin tones. And therefore, I decided to make this tutorial and share my opinion. So let's figure it out. I would like to point out three main problems, which you may meet on your way when working on a portrait and mixing skin tones. The first two issues I'm going to talk about are connected with each other, and usually beginners make both of them at once. So the first problem, in my opinion, is that beginners use a very few colors to mix skin tones. I'm sure you heard about the limited palette, and that it is better to use 5, 6 colors for painting, and I think that's a simply great idea, of course. But if you use only 2, 3 paints for flesh tones, it's going to become a huge problem as well. What do I mean? I noticed that artists sometimes use only two colors, white and ochre yellow, to mix a colorful lights, and when they need to make the skin tones lighter, they simply use more white. When they need to darken them down, they add more ochre with umber raw or even black. This is really, really wrong in my opinion. If you paint like that, you can't make a realistic portrait or realistic anything, just because flesh tones are more complicated and flesh tones depend on a few things which I'm gonna explain soon. So this method of painting produces another mistake, lack of warm and cold tints. And look at the pictures right now, guys. You can see it very obviously that the artist used probably white, then ochre yellow, and a tiny bit of something reddish apparently. But skin tones is a combination of cold and warm tinges. And to make skin tones look nice and realistic, we should use also cold tints, which we get from ultramarine, from cadmium lemon, from cadmium red, and so on. And you should understand why and how to mix the skin tones. What to do then? Here is my solution. First of all, try to understand and accept that the skin tones depend on two main things. The first one is a light source, and the second one is the head's construction. The light source is usually cold, and therefore the upper planes of the head, which are turned to the light, get colder. So, you should use a little of ultramarine, maybe cadmium lemon, maybe cadmium red, of course white. The planes which are turned away from the light source are warmer, and you can add sienna burnt or English red or ochre yellow or other warm earth colors. But I do not recommend to use amber raw or black, because they make tones muddy. If you use only ochre yellow plus white in the lights, you definitely can't make tones cooler, and it doesn't show which kind of light you have, warm or cold. Also remember that the forehead is lighter and colder because usually it is closer to the light source. The cheeks are further away and therefore warm and darker. They also get more reddish tones because of the blood vessels, so don't forget about that. If you look at the old masters' paintings, you will notice that the cheeks are always warmer and more red than the other parts of the face. The forehead is definitely colder and lighter. The chin is even further away, and so it's warmer and darker. The third mistake artists make is mixing too many colors at once. I mean that some artists like to use thousands of paints of absolutely different colors which do not fit portraits. They put them into lights, into shadows, clothes, backgrounds, so the same weird colors everywhere. This is kind of wrong in my opinion too, at least when we talk about classically realistic art. I wouldn't mind using them if they didn't look very muddy and dirty. So my solution is using a limited palette. Don't use all the paints you can get in art stores. Buy only the main ones. Then find out what you paint, lights or shadows. Are they warm or are they cold? Why would you put green or violet tones into skin? Can you explain it to yourself? It's very important to understand and be able to explain why you use this or that color. So I would suggest to use maybe 6, 7 colors, 10 is maximum definitely. And when you paint, try to understand if you paint a light or a shadow, if it's warm or cold, and how far away it is from the light source. Also, another advice about colors. Let's say you are painting a red apple. It is red in the lights and it is red in the shadows. But of course, we can see that the red color is different. It is dark and warm in the shadows, and it is light and cold in the lights. But anyways, red is red in the lights and in the shadows. It doesn't become green in the lights. It doesn't become orange in the shadows. Do you understand what I mean? So why would you paint the face violet or orange or yellow, green or black? Why? How exactly does it become green or orange? Can you explain it? I can't, especially when we talk about realistic paintings. Therefore, I suggest to first of all find out what part of the face or body you work on. Then understand what kind of light you have. Then remember about reflections which come into shadows from the lights around. Try to start from darkest spots, from the shadows, from the dark backgrounds, and only after that start working on the lights of the face, because it's gonna be much more easy. It's not so simple to tell you everything I want to in one video and explain so many things in one tutorial. And I hope this video helped you a little bit, inspired you. And if you have questions, please leave them down here in the comments. They're really, really important for me. I read all of them. And I'm sure it's gonna be necessary to talk more about the skin tones and make maybe several videos to make this issue clear for you guys. So, thumbs up, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my channel, paint more, draw more. See you soon.